Will you be available, or will you be participating in another season? Kalenna.
You know what? Guys, at the end of this season, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta 4, I was over it. I was like, fuck this shit. Excuse my language, guys. I was just like, listen, I'm over. If I have to be represented as a black woman, a black artist, a mom, a writer like this, fuck this. But then I took a minute and I was like, you know what? Let me thank God for the platform. Let me thank God for the opportunity that people do see a smidget of my life and maybe it could be empowering them. Will I come back, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 5? Maybe. If they make sure that they focus on my music and get me in that fucking studio with the Jermaine Dupri's and the Polo the Dons and Jazzy Faze, like those people were on the season, but they wasn't with who they needed to be with. So make sure that shit happens, and I'll be there.
It seems as though that you have your faith like embedded within like everything that you do. Even your children have biblical names with Meshach and Noah. Now, how do you just maintain that faith when you're in a business that sometimes really celebrates hedonism?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I was a girl. I grew up an international brat. My father's Muslim, devout Muslim. My mother's a devout Christian. I'm talking about I went to, a Kojic church, where they were speaking in tongues, and I went and prayed with my father, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So God was not only the forefront of my life, but he was the foundation as well, right? And so when it was time for me to do music or, playing the cello or traveling around the world, that's what I leaned on. And so I knew when I ran away from home at 15, all I got is God in my dream and my hustle in my backpack. That's it. And I just didn't want to be a stigma in this industry of the girl with the fat booty who was sleeping with all the producers and just was doing anything to get on. I wanted people to see the God that shined in me. I wanted people to see the anointing all over me. But at the same time, I wanted to just be human,
Right.
And I wanted to get in the trenches. And I knew I could do that. I could fight the good fight in the trenches where people don't want to be the garbage man. They don't want to pick up the trash. They don't want to deal with the dirt. They don't want to deal with the drama and the issues. But I'll be here and be that voice in the muck of it all with God on my back. And so, yeah, I just try my best to stay focused on where I want to be after this life, that conversation I want to have with God about what I did in this life. And, when I see shit going crazy, I'll be like, Lord, forgive him, God. And I keep it moving.